My guest this morning is somebody very special. Captain Chris Wachter, United States Air Force, is an aircraft commander of a B-1 bomber with the elite squadron, the T-Birds. It's the same squadron as the Doolittle Raiders from Pearl Harbor. You may recognize Chris from the recent media exposure he received when Chris got the call to pilot his B-1 to a location in Baghdad, where 4 satellite bombs were dropped on a complex in the Mansur district of Baghdad, earning him the coveted Distinguished Flying Cross. We asked Chris to be with us here this morning. He's freshly home. We want him to represent all of the brave men and women who were and still are working in Iraq to preserve freedom and peace. Please welcome with me United States Air Force pilot, a true peacemaker, Captain Chris Wachter. Welcome home to America. How does it feel to be back?
Sir, it feels wonderful to be back. I am immensely proud of our country, and it is great to be home. It's unfortunate that we have to travel to other places sometimes to ensure freedom around the world and protect our people, but it is great to be home.
What was the hardest part of being over there?
You know, sir, I think the hardest part is being away from the people that you love, your friends and your family, definitely. And it's also really hard having to do the things that we do. You kind of wish that we could all kind of get along, but unfortunately there are evil people in this world, and they don't seem to like equality and freedom and fairness for all, and we have to go over and enforce that.
And you were fighting for the preservation of the lives of the family and the good people in Iraq too.
Yes, sir, definitely. And as we've seen some of the horrors that have come out of that country under that regime, it makes me immensely proud that I could help to remove such an awful person. It also was a great pleasure and an honor to work with our men and women of the Army and the Marine Corps, talking with them on the ground while they're under fire and being able to come in with our aircraft and do what we can to help them. When we were flying over Iraq for a couple hours, our primary mission was to search for Scud missiles. And we wanted to try and find those and take those out. And after completing our search, we went and we did some air refueling with another aircraft midair and took some gas from them. And we were proceeding north, and we were going to do a strike on an airfield.
Were you alone or with others?
In my plane, there's a crew of 4. Myself, I'm the aircraft commander. I have a co-pilot, and then I have 2 weapon system operators. One is a bombardier, if you will, and the other one is a defensive systems operator, and he is using his sensors on board the jet to see if anyone's trying to shoot at us. And we were alone in our plane, the only plane up there at the time in our region, and we wanted to go strike our airfield, and I asked for permission to strike that, make sure that they were still valid targets, and they said, no, we need you to proceed direct to these new coordinates, and we need you to be there as soon as you can. I don't have authority to let you release the bombs yet, but I need you to be there soon. So we said, okay, we copied the coordinates down, read them back to him. We started proceeding on up there, and the guy called back on the radio again, and he said, I want to confirm those coordinates. And he read them to me, and I read them back again, right? And he told me what bombs he wanted. He wanted 4 of these bombs. And I said, well, hey, I've got this other target over here. Can I go strike that first and then come hit your target? And he said, no, go direct to this one. This one might be the big one. And that was kind of odd, because we don't call targets the big one or whatnot. So we kind of perked our ears up and said, oh, the big one, I wonder what that is. So we said, okay, no problem. And in the meantime, I was talking with other planes planes that smaller fighters wanted that helped defend us, and getting them together and letting them know where we were going so they could cover us. We're flying in there again, and the third time he says, I want to check those coordinates again. Oh man, I've told you twice. We've got it. We're good to go. All right, we read them back, and we were right again. We start flying in, and targets are in the dead center of Baghdad. And we had been flying over Baghdad since the very beginning of the war, so it wasn't that new to us. We knew that's where Saddam had pulled all of his Republican Guard units and a lot of his military assets to try and protect himself. So we thought it might have been one of those type of targets. And as I proceeded in, I'm flying, and I look down and see, okay, it's about 2 minutes until we release our weapons. So I call back and said, I'm 2 minutes from release. They said, okay, and they named off two military acronyms that stand for certain generals in the Air Force, and one of them was the head of the wards, and the other one was our head of the air component of the war, Lieutenant General Mosley. And then he said, these two say don't miss. I said, wow, well there's some added pressure. I said maybe 3 times wasn't enough. Let's check those coordinates one more time, and we did. The B-1, it's a wonderful aircraft, and it performed flawlessly, released the bombs, and I'm sure, as you all have seen, the end result. And we're very happy with the precision of the weapons in this day and age, and how we can go in and hit the military target and take out the building and not the buildings around it. How we can go out and take out Army units, but don't hit any of the civilian populace or whatnot. And that's really a big goal. And so after the mission, we were really, really proud that the bombs came off and hit what we wanted to. But as we flew home, it didn't really sink in. We knew we hit the big one, as they said. We didn't know what it was. They don't tell us in the air. And I landed, and one of the guys that's more senior ranking to me came up to me and he said, Wachter, what the heck did you do? We're getting all kinds of phone calls here. You really screwed up. And I said, oh, no. I checked those coordinates 3 times. And he said, no, I'm only kidding with you. Good job. You hit Saddam and his 2 sons. And I said, oh, get out of town. You're kidding me. And he's like, no, you did. And it spread like wildfire through the base and obviously through the country and the world.
Go ahead, applaud. Saddam Hussein, is he alive?
To be honest with you, in either case, the end result is the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all saw 2 days later, his own people were tearing down his statues and,
that's
punching
right.
out his picture of his face on the posters and ripping that all down. His regime is gone. And now these people, their lives are open to a world of freedom, I hope.
Oh, yes.
So.
Yes, indeed. You're a graduate of the Air Force Academy.
Yes, sir.
But when you were a young boy, I believe about 11 years old, is that possible, in the 6th grade, you had to write a paper for your school class, and it turned out to be prophetic. I don't have a copy of it here, but you can tell us what you wrote. I've seen it.
Well, I had completely forgotten about this. My mom quickly, remembered it, of course. When I was in 6th grade, they asked us to write, where will you be in, I think it was 2010 or something like that, write a newspaper headline. And I wrote that I'd be flying planes and bombing the enemies of America to ensure freedom, and it's bizarre. It really is. It's almost scary, but I'm one of the lucky ones that I had a goal and a dream I wanted to fly from a very young age, and my parents have been my greatest supporters in that, and really helped me along that ways, and with the grace of God, I've been able to fulfill all my dreams.
How has your faith helped you through all of this? You do have a personal relationship with God in
Yes,
Christ?
Sir. Of course, yes, sir. And at least for me personally, you have to, with what we're doing and the seriousness of it. And it's very important. And it's very important in the military, as you saw, the chaplains. We have wonderful chaplains. Something that people may not know, but before every mission, we have a large briefing, and it's what our targets are and classified information and whatnot. But before all that starts, it starts off with a prayer with an Air Force chaplain.
Wonderful.
And they were great. They were right there with us in their desert camouflage uniforms and supporting us, and it was always there for us if we needed some extra support. And I don't think without faith I'd be up here right now. So.
Your mom and dad are here this morning or the next service?
They're here.
Stand up, please. Where are they? Oh, great. And so thank you very much. God loves you, so do we.
Yes,
Captain Wachter.
Yes, sir. Before we go, I have a small presentation, if I may.
Okay.
Air Force aviators, and this is a history thing, in World War I and World War II, used to have to wear very heavy leather suits to keep them warm because they didn't have temperature controls in their cockpit and whatnot. But they would also wear silk scarves. And that was to prevent chafing around the neck and whatnot. And each unit has a special decorated scarf. And I would like to present to you and to you, Dr. Schuller, the official Thunderbirds 34th Bomb Squadron scarf.
Wow.
So if I may.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow.
And just,
Supposed to wrap around your neck?
well, you can.
This man belongs to the group that's connected directly historically with the Doolittle Raiders. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What a great piece of history.
It
you're
is
finding.
wonderful, sir, and we are very appreciative of that and whatnot, and being able to meet with some of the guys that flew on the Doolittle raid and whatnot. They wore our squadron patches, and now we wear theirs. Wow. So it's wonderful.
And I accept this with profound pride.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is something I brought back from the region, and it's in this nifty little container here. But I can't tell you what country I was in, but I'll tell you what this is, and that'll maybe get you closer to the idea. If you all remember the story of baby Jesus, of course, the three wise men brought him gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And where I was stationed, I had a chance to get a hold of the authentic frankincense.
Wow.
So this is from the region.
Wow.
Frankincense for you, and if you can, it has an interesting aroma. It's an incense, but it's there you go. But something that they've been harvesting for thousands of years now and continue to do so.
Really?
And I thought that was very interesting, and I'd grab a hold of that for you. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come back again. Thank you.
Chris, thank you. God bless you.